Hi guys, welcome back. Um, let's see. Jersey Girl true crime, right? So, today I'm going to discuss something that is uh a Jersey case. This one actually it kind of like it broke my heart, honestly, because it's very, very close to home for me. Um, for a couple of years back, let's see, it was about 2010-ish. For a few years, I lived in, well, first Bradley Beach and then Asbury Park. So I was at the Jersey Shore for a while, and I was living, and first it was an apartment, and then I had a room in someone's house. Um, I would take public transportation. My job was I was the opening person at a Subway. Fancy, right? Most of my life I worked in hotels, and when I first got there to this area, there's only like a few hotels that are right there. And back then in 2010, it was like you could not find a hotel job. So basically, I just took what I could get, and that ended up being Subway. Um, it was actually the Subway that's inside the Walmart, which is in Neptune City, which is the next town over from Asbury Park. So I'm really familiar with the area, okay? Because this is the case of Sarah Stern, who was from Neptune City. She was a 19-year-old girl, and the case is extremely upsetting to me. I'm gonna do my best to not cry, uh, because you might see some nervous laughter from me because I really want to try to keep it together. Because this case, like, it's like I said, it's so close to home, and there's body cam footage, there's trial footage, there's a secret hidden video uh, where they got the scumbag who did this caught. All right. So, the reason why I'm choosing to do this right now is because, like, just recently, like a few days ago, actually, the court upheld the sentence of the accomplice. See, there was a murderer and then there was an accomplice. The two of them were roommates. Now, the messed up part is they both knew Sarah very well. They were childhood friends. Like, they knew each other since the first grade, and now she was 19. I think they're the same age, the other two. You know, the killer and his stupid friend. Um, so yeah, let me see. I apologize here. I have the article up about them upholding his sentence, but I want to go back to when it happened so I can give you guys kind of a overview of the whole thing here. I apologize. Give me 1 second. So Sarah was she lived with her father because her mother had passed away very like recent to well, I want to say maybe a year or two before this all went down. She was, she graduated from high school and she was a member of the swim team and the softball team. She, beautiful, beautiful girl, but kind of like a tomboy. And her, like I said, her best friends were two guys that lived like up the street from her. So this is 2016 on December the 3rd. There was a phone call from somebody who was driving on the Route 35 Belmar Bridge. That's another thing that I'm really familiar with. When I was a kid, we used to, well, not a kid, but like 18, 19, we used to drive down to that bridge and my boyfriend and his friends would jump off. It was like a dare. Like you could, it's terrifying. I could never do it, but it was like kind of like cliff diving in a way, but they would just jump off the side of the bridge. And lots of kids do it. Like it's kind of like a thing. They like dare each other. And I've never heard of anybody getting seriously injured because the people were very careful to jump in feet first. You know what I mean? It's deep enough to where they're not gonna, hurt themselves. But that's, another story. So anyway, December 3rd, 2016, there was a Oldsmobile 88. You know those granny looking cars? Oldsmobile 88 Royales just sitting on the side of the road there, right on the 35 bridge. And now, when you see a car stopped on a bridge with nobody in it, what's the first thing you think of? Uh-oh, somebody might have jumped, right? Like, that's what you would just automatically, that's what would pop in your head, would be like, oh man, like, I hope this isn't what it looks like, kind of thing. So, and that was at 2:45 in the morning on, December 3rd. So the authorities started, looking into this kind of immediately. They were knocking on doors in the middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning. Now they started off right on her, like at her home, um, and right at the street where her best friends lived. Now, it wasn't just that they were like school childhood friends, like their parents knew each other. And Sarah, like you said, her mom had passed away, so she was like living with just her dad and her grandma. Her grandma was like 98, I think. I mean, she was, really up there in age, and I believe that she had been staying with a neighbor, and the father was down in Florida with his girlfriend for a few days. So Sarah was alone. She's 19 years old. You can stay home alone when you're 19, right? Um, and she had started to, and I'm doing this from memory. I don't have to read any of this. Like, I know this story like the back of my hand. Um, that she had started like clearing out some of her mother's belongings, and asking random neighbors if they would hold on to these, like, those tubs, those big plastic crate things where you store stuff. I think everybody has some of those in their houses. So yes, Sarah had started like putting things together that were her mother's, that like she was worried that if she didn't keep them somewhere that her dad would throw them away, or like, I guess her father wasn't, he already had a new girlfriend and everything, and it was a couple of years. I'm not saying he jumped into it, and like, but whatever, Sarah and her dad were very close, and there was like a kind of like a little bit of a strain in the relationship, just because Sarah was so much more affected by losing her mother than her father was. I don't even think they were together at the time of her death. I think they were divorced or something. But anyway, so one of the neighbors that had some of her belongings was the McAtasney family, which is kind of like the neighbor. And the boy that she was friends with, his name was Liam. Like I said, they grew up together, knowing each other since first grade. And on February 2nd, like, that day before the car was found on the bridge, Sarah had spent the whole day with Liam. Well, until he went to work. He was a waiter. So, like, he had to go in to work at like 4 or 5 in the evening. But that they had been hanging out all day together that day. Like, they went, to Taco Bell for lunch, and he was helping her move around some of those crates. They took some to his mother's house, and to this other neighbor's house, and like, and then Liam said that it came time that he had to go to work, so he went to work. And um when the cops showed up at Liam's mom's house, knocking on the door, she sent them like across the street or whatever, because she had another house, and that's where Liam was living. Like, he was him and his buddy Preston were roommates in this other home that his family owned. So like, he lived by himself, sort like a bachelor pad kind of situation, but like right across the street from his family. Um so a few weeks before everything went down, Sarah had told Liam that she came across, like, her mom had left money, basically actual cash, and sorry, I'm trying to get the date on that. um do. Okay, a shoebox full of cash. that Liam knew about it because Sarah had told him. She was keeping it in a safety deposit box at the bank, but I guess for some reason they went. She took Liam with her to go and get the money from the safe deposit box and bring it home. She never told Liam how much it was, but the money was like in extremely bad shape. The actual like bills were, like falling apart, filthy, dirty. Some of them were ripped. I don't understand. I don't know why that is, but the money that it was about $10,000, but the money itself was like damaged. Um, so sorry guys. Um, I apologize. I should have been better prepared, right? Um, So there's police body cam of them first talking to Liam's mom, and she says, he's across the street or next door or whatever the case may be. And you see the cops knocking on that door. You see Liam comes to the door, and he tells the cops like, "Oh, I was with her all day." Oh, he's just I don't. Yeah, I don't. And one of the first things that he says to these cops is she's been like talking about running off. Like she doesn't get along with her father. Since her mother died, like her and her dad are always fighting, and she wants to move away to Canada. And then he's like, oh, and she's really depressed. He's like throwing these stupid lies at the cops, trying to make it seem like Sarah was some kind of basket case that like couldn't deal with her life. You know what I mean? Like that was not the case. She was a happy girl. She went to like Comic Cons. She loved YouTube. She was just a normal kid. She wasn't depressed. She missed her mom, sure, but I mean, she had her whole life ahead of her. So, he's all talking stupid. Um, and, so, then you see the body cam of the cops go, they're at Sarah's house, they're searching. Her dog was in the crate, so they gave the dog some treats and the whole bit. And, yeah, so the search kept on going. So then the next day, there's more body cam, and Liam's coming out of his house to go to work, and he's got like his sunglasses on, looking all cool. And at this point, like, there's some stuff that the cops do and say and the way they act that really bothers me, like, to this day. Like, if you guys ever go back and watch the body cam footage, these cops are so unprofessional. It's embarrassing. Like, the things, I mean, I think they were just talking this way to Liam to try to make him comfortable, like they were bros, homies, like, oh, girls are, the cops are like, girls are emotional, we understand. Or, like, oh, what's that YouTube channel she likes to watch? I looked at it, I thought it was so stupid. Like, the cop is telling Liam this stuff. He's like talking to him like he's another kid. It's just disturbing, if you ask me. Like, I don't know what the cop was. I guess he was trying, like I said, I think he was trying to make Liam think like that they were like cool and he could just talk freely, I guess. I don't know. I'm totally speculating, but I'm telling you, if you watch the body cam, you'll see what I mean. It's totally ridiculous. But, same thing. Liam's, oh, she's depressed, and oh, she wants to go to Canada, and because that's where those YouTubers are from, and I don't know. Like, just ridiculous. But, they told him, that they found her car on the bridge and all that, and it was just horrible. So, some time goes by, and they don't hear anything from anybody. Like, the case is just like stuck. And I think pretty much the cops were thinking at this point that Sarah committed suicide. She parked her car on the bridge and jumped. Um, in December. Like, they usually say that women in general, when they're going to commit suicide or end their lives in whichever, they don't tend to do it in painful or disgusting ways. Most women don't shoot themselves. Most women don't want to drown, so they don't jump off bridges. Most women, they I think the most common way women kill themselves is by overdosing, because it's, you know, supposed to be painless and it's not messy. I think the whole she jumped off the bridge in December is so ridiculous, in my opinion. But, you know, I think that's where the cops were kind of stuck at that point. But then this guy comes walking in to the police station and he says, I have got something to tell you. His name was Anthony. And Anthony got this message from Liam that made him go, whoa, because he didn't think at first. He was like, this can't be. My friend's not a murderer. This can't be, right? But he tells the cops basically that, like, Liam all out said that him and Preston got rid of Sarah. So the cops, again, they get Anthony to put a camera in his car and go and talk to Liam. So he does. And let me tell you, it is absolutely horrifying what he says on this video. And you guys can check it out for yourselves. I'm going to put some links in the description box in here. You'll notice I don't play videos in my videos so far. I may do that, you know, in the future down the line. But right now, when I talk about video, I will give you a link. Just because I don't know, I'm still learning how to do this stuff. I don't know, like, about fair use, and I don't want anybody to get upset that I'm using their stuff. So all I'm saying is, like, I'm going to put, you can watch it yourselves, but I'm going to tell you, like, Liam basically tells this guy, Anthony, exactly what happened. And he says that he choked Sarah out. He put his hand around her neck, or rather his whole arm around her neck, and, like, lifted her off the floor. And he said that he did that until she, like, peed her pants and passed out. Which is pretty much, that's what happens when somebody dies, you know, everything comes out. So he said that's how he knew that she was, like, gone. But he, you know, dropped her on the floor afterwards, and he said she was having some sort of seizure. She wasn't dead yet. So he had to strangle her some more. So what he actually says that he didn't want, he was, like, grossed out at this point, and so he shoved a t-shirt down her throat and held her nose closed. Meanwhile, he also tells him that he had started a timer on his phone because he wanted to know how long it was going to take to kill her. Like, it's so sick. How do you do that to somebody you've known since you were in first grade? I don't understand it at all, you guys. Like, I don't understand it. I have a lot of friends, not anymore like that I hang out with, but I have one friend in particular that I have known since middle school. Not since elementary, but since middle school. I dated him at one point, and now we're friends, whatever. I could never in a million years think that he would ever hurt me. Ever. Even if I had 10 grand laying around. You know, I don't have that many, like, lifelong friends like that. But Sarah did, and for somebody to do this to her, Liam has no conscience, and pretty much, if you ask me, no soul. Like, how do you do that to someone you have known all your life? Over money. Over money you can't even spend, because it's like, I don't know, like if it was buried in the ground without a bag. It was like money that was completely falling apart. He was under the impression that she had like 50 to 100 grand, and it turned out to be like less than 10,000. And, you know, Liam had been discussing this, I guess, for a while with his roommate, Preston. I don't think Preston Preston's not nearly as messed up as Liam is. Like, you can tell in their interviews that Liam is cold, calculating, and he's not even affected by the fact that Sarah's gone. But Preston you can see it in like in his police interviews. You can tell he's not okay with this. Like, I'm pretty sure that he went along with it because like Liam kind of didn't give him a choice, because it was all like Liam did this all by himself, and he left Sarah's body in her house because he had to go to work. And he, like, at some point he purposely left his cell phone, like, I don't even know, but even when those cops came that in the middle of the night the first time, they he told them that he hasn't been able to find his phone. It's just a coincidence, I guess, right? Because they'd be like, "Give me your phone." You know what I mean? So he pretended like he couldn't find it, and he even said like, "I had to leave my job and come home and search for it, and I still couldn't find it," which I'm positive that was bullshit. That he just didn't want to give his phone up. So anyway, so yeah, he gets back from work, and him and Preston go together to Sarah's house, and they carry her body out, and like Preston even took the cops back there and like showed them exactly how they did it, how like Liam had left her in a bathroom at her house. And another thing, she had a dog, like I mentioned, and Liam actually tells this guy Anthony, like, her dog just stared at me while I killed her. Isn't that funny? You guys, isn't that funny? What a scumbag. You know what I mean? Like, ew. Ew. So, Preston, let me get back to him. It was actually, he was Sarah's prom date, Preston, okay? I kind of get, like, sort of like a gayish vibe from Sarah. I kind of think that Sarah may have been, I mean, she wasn't out, but she was so tomboyish, and like from the way that people just, I think she may have been kind of more into girls than she was guys. I'm totally guessing. I'm not trying to defame anyone. I'm not trying to speak badly of the dead. It's just a vibe that I got. Like, I feel like she probably wasn't really into guys. And she went to the junior prom with Preston, but as friends, you know what I mean? And she'd known Liam for her whole life, and they never even hooked up. You know, like, I don't think that she was into that. But like I said, it's a complete guess. So anyway, craziness. So yeah, and then Preston took the cops to the bridge and explained how he had Sarah's legs and Liam had her torso, and they put her up on the guardrail and just pushed her over. And he said he didn't even look at, like, he heard the splash, but he didn't look over and see like where she went. They just left. And they left Sarah's car on the bridge with the keys in the ignition to make it look like she killed herself. So the cops were like, the cops asked the Anthony guy to record their conversation, and he did. He had a hidden camera in the car, and he got to Liam's house, and Liam came out, sat in the car, started talking, and told Anthony everything, just everything about how it went down, and how he's like, you know what the messed up thing is? Like, I'm not even gonna be able to spend that money. The messed up thing is that you're not gonna be able to spend the money. The messed up thing is you murdered your friend over $10,000 in bills that you can't even use. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure had this not have happened and had Sarah gone on with her life, it's possible, like, maybe she might have been able to take those bills to the treasury and have them, like, replaced or repaired. I don't know, but there's got to be a way that you can, like, fix messed up money, I would think. I don't really know how any of that works, but like, I wanted to mention that the reason why I wanted to do this today was because just the other day, like, Liam has been in jail this whole time, and he's been trying to appeal and he was just denied another trial 3 days ago. Like, he's still he wanted another trial, trying to say that, like, Anthony's video shouldn't have been shown in the courtroom, which was really the nail in his coffin, because he sat there talking about how he did this like it was nothing. He was just, I had to set this timer on my phone, and da 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 da. And I'm gonna put that in a link in the description box for you guys to check out how horrible this video is. You can catch it. Lots of YouTube channels have it. There's one really good on Explore With Us. If you know, off the top of my head, that's a really good Sarah Stern video. It's just so upsetting to me that, like, yeah, like, his defense team, the thing that they mostly tried to do was to get that videotaped confession excluded from the trial. But no. Sarah's dad, Michael, was absolutely heartbroken. You know, that was his only daughter, and her mom was already gone, you know, and he tried so hard to be, you know, like, a single parent and make things better for Sarah and make it work. You know, like, he left her to go to visit his girlfriend, but he was coming back for Christmas. You know, this is like the beginning of December. And, you know, like, Liam even said to Anthony in the video, like, they're never gonna find her. You know, I thought she'd wash up on the shore by now, but I bet you're a shark eater. And he's acting like it's all cool and funny and amazing. And it's just disgusting. And he even, like, went so far as, like, to be excited that there was no body. Like, you're thinking no body, no conviction. That's not how it works anymore, homie. Sorry. Yeah, it was actually the first no body homicide case to go to trial in Monmouth County since 1975. And, you know, Preston felt so bad about helping dispose of the body that he went ahead and testified against Liam. You know, he pleaded guilty to his role in her death, and during his testimony, he described Liam's plan to kill Sarah for a shoebox full of cash. Yeah, the trial went on for a whole month. The videotape confession was, you know, like I said, the nail in the coffin. On February 26th, he was found guilty of 7 counts. And like he was trying ever since then, trying to get another trial, trying, and, you know, like, they finally just 3 days ago said, hell no. He was ordered, he got life in prison, and Preston got 18 years. I think that's a little hefty, honestly. Like, I mean, yeah, it's horrible that he helped, you know, and that he, you know, that he was there, and I guess that it was just kind of okay with him to do this. I don't know that it was okay with him, but, you know, like I said, his demeanor was very different compared to Liam's. Liam was very, like, you know, stuck up, you know, like, nose in the air, thinking, like, I'm better than everybody, and I'm gonna get away with this. You know, like, he just had this cocky scumbag attitude that, like, I can't stand to watch. It's disgusting. But Preston doesn't come off like that. Preston comes off like he really does feel bad about it. And, you know, there's no bringing her back, but I kind of feel like their 18 years is long. I sort of hope that he gets paroled maybe after 12 or 13 years. You know, like, I do agree that he's doing time. I just think it seems kind of long for, you know, just helping. Yeah, and he did, like I said, he cooperated, and he gave his version of events, and he got up there and he testified against his friend. You know what I mean? Like, people are always saying, like, not to snitch and blah, blah, blah. Well, he did the right thing, you know? Definitely. My cat, Cirillo's here. Yeah, so, that's pretty much the whole case. I really wanted to cover it on my channel because it's a New Jersey case, and it's very close to my heart because, like I said, I lived in Asbury Park and Bradley Beach, and Neptune City is right there. Look at baby. Say hi. Come here, say hi to everybody. Hello. Say hi. Willow's here. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments. Have you guys heard about Sarah? I gotta, of course, you'll see photos along the way, like always. And like I said, I'm gonna put the links in the description box if you want to check out some of the video and in particular Anthony's car video of Liam casually explaining how, how he murdered his lifelong childhood friend for a shoebox of money that he couldn't even spend. It's heartbreaking. She was beautiful, and she had her whole life ahead of her. And she seemed like such a sweet girl and such a good friend, And she had already lost her mom. She was going through a hard time, and I guess fighting that money that belonged to her mom. It was kind of like getting one last sort of gift from her mother, and trusting Liam, even in just like casual conversation about this money. Like there's in the articles that I've read, it says that Liam found out about the money because he saw the shoebox full of cash, like in her house, I guess. But he didn't realize that it was only $10,000 and it wasn't in the greatest condition. He thought that box had like $50,000 to $100,000, and he told Preston that he'd give him like $3,000 to help him with this task, I guess. So I mean, I guess Preston's sentence is just I don't know if there's any possibility of parole for him, but I just feel like he really did feel bad about it, and his cooperating and explaining to the cops like Liam's whole sick plan was very helpful in getting that conviction. So yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the punishment was fair? Or do you think that, like, maybe Preston should have gotten some sort of immunity? What do you guys think? I don't know. I go back and forth. But yeah, and check out the links that I'm going to put in the description box for you guys. Check them out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, as always. Let me put up my PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo again, because like you guys know, I'm not going to be monetized anytime soon. And even once I possibly start to get monetized, I'm doing true crime, so chances are I'm not going to make very much off of YouTube. But that's okay. It's not like I want to do this as a career. Maybe someday. I really do enjoy this true crime genre. I always have. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this case for today, and I will catch you guys on the next one, and I'm going to try to get it done in the next few days. Once again, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.